America is a dream for Oshoala. I think so. Um, I saw that within 1 week of her signing, she already went to attend NBA game. Sitting courtside. So I was just like, she's in her element. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching or listening to us from. This is the Naija FC podcast. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is episode 27. So thank you very much, guys, for sticking with us throughout the episodes, throughout the journey. The last month and a half was very interesting, very engaging as we had the AFCON. But now we're back to our regular scheduled programming, with club football going on. And, albeit that the AFCON is done, we still have a very interesting episode for you. We have a lot to talk about. And yes, thank you very much for sticking with us. Smith Layi, glad to be with you as always. My name is, of course, AyoT. And yeah, let's get into it. So, Smith Layi, we have a number of topics to discuss. But the first one that I'll talk about is something that happened just right after the AFCON was over. FIFA released the official FIFA men's ranking, and we saw the Super Eagles of Nigeria shoot up, 20, I believe it was 14 spots rather. The Super Eagles shot up 14 spots and rose to 28th in the FIFA men's world ranking. We're now, of course, also the third team in Africa. What did you think about that?
This thanks for actually what having me once more. And I'm sure glad to be here. Shout out to our fans that have been staying with us throughout the AFCON. So, and I think this is just, like reward for success. Because at the end of the day, if you win games like this, I think we won like 4 games. If you win games like this is what you actually will get in return. So when I saw the ranking, I was pretty impressed that we actually were the third, what's it called, best placed team in Africa, and also the what's it called, the 28th in the world. So that's actually what massive. This is the highest rankings. It's actually what 2013, if I'm not mistaken, and our highest ranking ever was 50 in the world. That was in 1994. So, and straight after the ranking, I saw Jose Parcero posted that we are now third. Target is one. That means that he's really into it. He wanted to actually to take the Eagles to first position. So I'm happy with the ranking. This is what you get from it too. Shout out to the team for doing this. At least when the draws now for the upcoming AFCON qualifiers now around the corner, I think all those stars. I can't even find them on the ranking. They will not come at us and say that, so we're going to be top ranked team, sub-seeded team in during the World Cup, during the qualifiers. So I'm happy about that.
And okay, let me ask you, third in Africa, according to the ranking, behind Morocco and Senegal. Do you think it is a fair assessment? Do you think we are actually the third best team in Africa?
For me, I think we are better than even the two in front of us. I think this Super Eagles, I see them as the best team in Africa. If forget about we lost in the finals, we all know the circumstance behind that. For me, I think this Super Eagles is the best team in Africa.
Hmm. Big praise, big praise. But of course, with the ranking, of course, Morocco, even though they disappointed in this AFCON, they are not going to just slide down that quickly. And Senegal as well, it's not going to happen that quickly. But it was a big boost for us. Of course, Ivory Coast, who won the tournament, they also went up, I think, about 10 spots or something like that, And then we
11
had
spots, yes.
our dear friends drop to 67th. I won't call their name, they know themselves. But ultimately, I think it is a good one. Do you think it is a fair reflection of the trajectory that Nigerian football is moving in? Some people don't care about this ranking. Some people say, "Oh, FIFA doesn't know what they are saying." But in your mind, do you think it proves that Nigerian football is moving forward?
So for me, I just think that the national team is progressing, and it shows in that last Afcon. Compared to where we were before drawing against Lesotho, and actually was Zimbabwe. The thing you saw in Ivory Coast actually was shows that we are moving in the right direction, but not all the aspects of our football. The grassroots is still there. The under 18 is still there. So we need to get everything together. But I think the Super Eagles that should moving in the right direction.
Okay, no, and I will say, of course, positive results mean that something good is happening. Just hopefully we can sustain it beyond this Afcon, going into the World Cup qualifiers, going into the Afcon qualifiers for the next Afcon, and by God's grace, we keep on progressing and progressing like this. Um, okay, let's move into some of the topics from this past week that are affecting Nigerian players around the world. Of course, the AFCON is over. Our boys, went back to Nigeria. They received their MON honors. And then after that, it's straight back to their clubs to go and earn their money, go and earn their paychecks. And a lot of people were in action, both on the male side and on the female side. We won't talk about everybody, of course, but just highlight a few that were worthy of conversation. I think I'll start from the Super Falcons. I want to give kudos to Rasheedat Ajibade. Congratulations to her, made her 100th cap for Atletico de Madrid feminine. Unfortunately, it came in a game against Barcelona. So, as things have always been, our Barcelona unfortunately beats them 2-0. So, not too bad. But congratulations to her. I remember when she first joined Atletico de Madrid a couple years ago. For it to already have reached 100 caps is impressive. Atletico, is a very funny team to play for because their men and their women, they are the same way. Although the men are changing recently, they don't attack that much. They don't score that many goals. So as an attacker, you can sometimes find it difficult. She has been their highest goal scorer in the past 2 seasons. And she's finally now become like a star for them. And hopefully they can do well. This season is not going too well, even though the refs in that league, I don't know what to say about them. But congratulations to her on reaching 100 caps for Atletico de Madrid. Let me ask you, this is something that in the female side, until recently, we haven't seen too many of our female players actually playing for big clubs in the world. Oshoala has played for Arsenal, has played for Liverpool, now, had played for Barcelona. So Oshoala has been there. But other than her, Odega played Atletico Madrid for 1 or 2 seasons left. It's not been something most of our players have been in, like Sweden, Norway, China. Um, what do you think it means? What does it say for her to have played 100 games for Atletico de Madrid and a lot more to come? It looks like.
No, and it shows that she's progressed very well in her career. I remember during her formative years in the national team. When she was playing under 17. That picture is still iconic. Anytime I see the picture, I always smile. And when she got the move, I think she got the move from Norway. Was it Norway?
Yeah.
I think she was playing in Norway before she went to Atletico Madrid. So she showed even in national team, you can see clearly that that consistency in her game. She's settled. She's someone that always wants to improve. If you see a game previously, you realize that she added something to her game. So when you see a player that wants to improve all the time, that she kept on adding to her game, it's all time very different. She's going to stay in a club because she can actually offer a lot for them.
Mm.
So kudos to her. These are the things you don't really see in female players. They just when it's done, when they're not motivated, they move on. But I think she's doing something to motivate herself to still stay there, and that is why she actually racking up these caps. So that is fantastic to actually hear that news. I didn't even know that. I just realized that she was celebrating her, but I didn't know that it's now up to 100. I remember when she joined, just like yesterday. But now, 100 caps, to tell you that if you owe person money, hey, we can't see, time flies. So, so, kudos to her. I'm really actually happy for her. And not just doing it for ordinary club, for Atletico Madrid. That's actually fantastic in a very competitive league like the La Liga, like La Liga Feminine. That's actually kudos to her. I think that she can actually keep it up. She's the future captain of the national team. So that is for me,
I
very
mean,
cool headed
she's
and
already been captaining the team on occasion, so it's not far
yes,
fetched to do. And with
yeah.
in between those 100 caps for Atletico, she has won 2 trophies, for the club. And like I said, she has been the highest goal scorer for the past 2 seasons. So kudos to her, and hopefully she can keep up like that. Another Super Falcons news to talk about is Asisat Oshoala, our Agbabola, former captain, African best for forever. She has made a move from FC Barcelona Feminine in Spain to Bay FC in the USA NWSL. Bay FC is this new team that is just about to play in their first season, and they have money. They have
Mm-hmm.
money. They are spending. They are buying. They bought Rachel, the other African girl from Madrid TFM. I don't want to mention her last name so I don't spoil it. They bought Castellanos, former Atletico player who was playing for Man City. They signed her. They've signed a number of quality players. Oshoala, of course, is probably their biggest name signing that they've acquired for this their first season. What do you think about that move for Oshoala to leave Barcelona, where she won everything, and go to a new team that is just forming in the USA? What do you think about it?
And kudos to for kudos to Shola too for taking that move because it's not easy to leave where you are really comfortable with when you know that with less effort you can win. When you know that you go get you did pichichi, you go score. She scores even if she's not playing, she will score goals when she come on. So that's one thing to leave that comfort zone and go to a big. And then that's why she was very strong for her. And I observed that when she left, that was when Barca dropped points also. When she actually was left, I think when she left, that was when Barca dropped after a long time. That's when she was drop points. So, you know, I'm happy that she's making that move because sometimes you need a change to motivate yourself more.
Mm,
So I think she might have seen the project of BFC and oh, I want to be part of this project too. And don't forget that too, America is, I don't know how strong her Spanish is, but America, she will want to go to America too. I think the project of Bay actually what attracted her. I'm pretty sure that before she signed, she might have asked them that, who are you going to sign? What's the plan? So I think the plan they actually was showed to her. I think that's one thing that you even prompted her to move. Me, the move be like magic. I heard about a rumor. Before I know, I saw a shirt on her. When did the rumor turn to reality? When it was so fast, and I can just wish her best of luck. She has played in like how many continents now? She's played in
She has played in
Europe.
Africa.
She
She
played
has
in
played in
Asia.
Europe. She has
She
played
played
in
in
Asia.
Africa.
Now she's in North
Now
America.
in North America now. So, uh, so it's left with Oceania and what's it called, and South America left. But well traveled player. Kudos to her. Kudos to her. I just wish her best of luck there. So I think
No,
they also signed the most expensive player.
yeah,
The is it Katalugi? I don't want to mention the name too from
that's right.
Zambia.
Rachel. Yes.
Rachel, yeah. So I think they're gonna make statements in this in the NWSL. They're gonna make statements.
Mm. And I will say, you said how good is her Spanish. I was in Barcelona in April 2023, and there was one woman that Asisat introduced me to, who she was like, "Oh, this is her friend that can help me with certain things if I needed to." And the woman was telling me she took to not speak English, so we're having a hard time communicating. We're using Google Translate to talk to each other, but she was telling me that look at the Shwala. She has been in Spain for 5 years. She cannot even speak Spanish. That's what the woman was telling me. So I don't think she picked up that
Mm-mm.
Spanish. But I think um, America is a dream for Shwala. I think so. Um, we already know she likes the
Yeah.
NBA a lot. She's always watching basketball, commenting on it. Now
Mm-hmm.
she's going into that place. I saw that within 1 week of her signing, she already went to attend NBA game, sitting courtside. So
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, she's in her element. She's in a place where she knows she's going to enjoy. Ushuala is that player, that person that likes this flashy life, this luxury life. She likes wealth and showing off that, she's a big girl. So America is the perfect place for her. America is where everybody has money and likes to show off their money, and then living in the Bay Area in San Francisco, where there's a lot of tech. I think, assuming she has all these kind of plans, opportunity for investment to be there, opportunity to do business, all those kind of things will be around her, surrounding her. And of course, America is also the home of marketing. If you want to build a brand, if your
Mm-hmm.
brand can have, strength in America, you're good. America is where you don't have to be popular outside America and you'll be making millions of dollars in endorsements and things like that. So I think it's a very good move for her. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, the Americans are excited to have her because someone of her pedigree, someone that has her kind of resume to come to the American League. They don't have players like that. The only top players, quote unquote, that they
Mm-hmm.
typically get in America are the ones that are American citizens. and a lot of them don't like to go out.
Yes.
The other top player that they've had was Mata. When Mata moved to America
Mm-hmm.
towards the end of her career. So Oshoala is coming in as a big player, and hopefully she can
Mm-hmm.
continue to do well, and she can impress for them. I think kudos to her, a good move. By God's grace, maybe one day I'll go and watch her in the USA. But yes, I wish her all the best, and hopefully she can continue to progress in her career like that. And then one more Super Falcons player that we'll talk about before we move on to the Super Eagles players as well. Is Nicole Payne, the younger sister of Tony Payne. She just completed a loan move from PSG Feminine in France to Portland Thorns FC in the
Mm-hmm.
USA, NWSL as well. This one, I didn't hear any rumors about. I don't know if you did. I saw the announcement one day. Since she joined PSG after her college football, in the USA, of course, she has not really been getting playing time. She has played one or two matches. The coach hasn't been involving her too much in the matches. Sometimes she's not even on the match day squad at all. I remember I was even at the point looking into it. Is she injured? What's going on? And I saw she wasn't injured. So the PSG coach just wasn't really fancying her. So she's making a move back home. She grew up in the USA, so she's going back to the USA to go and play some football and at least keep herself progressing and keep herself active. So I'm really hoping that this turns out to be a useful loan move for her. Of course, the WAFCON is coming up, Olympics coming up. She'll probably want to play those competitions for Nigeria. Um, of course, she missed out on the World Cup, so I'm sure she won't want to miss out on more competitions going forward. So she's probably just going to go there to have to get some game time, and hopefully it works out well for her. Now we have, I don't know the exact number, but we have quite a lot of our Super Falcons players that are in the USA now, with the Onumonus, the Aloziers, Oshoala, and hopefully it goes well for her. What did you think of that, Nicole Payne to Portland Thorns?
So I think when she wasn't getting playing time in PSG, it was the obvious that she's going to look for a little move because it's part of the football education too. She wants to like try, senior football elsewhere, and that's actually what a good move. So because even myself, I was trying to contact someone that used to watch PSG game that was even happening, you know, to her and everything. But she actually said, oh, maybe probably the coach is not really, really into her and things like that. So I'm happy that she's back to her base now. She's back to familiar territory. She would need to recharge her battery. And there's one thing I know basically is that if she plays well in America, she will get into this Falcons team because for I think that we don't have like a right back. It's still going to be Michelle Alozie. So if we have her in the right back, we can now push Alozie forward. Maybe she can, we can now push her forward.
And
So
she can,
I
sorry,
think
just
that
to say, and she can also even play left back if need be.
yes, she can so left back. So I just think that and she's very quick. I like that smartness in her game. So I think it's not a bad move for her to leave. I think that some players just need to step back slightly and come back. It might not even be PSG. It might be she might be going back to France and be playing for the Paris FC. So I think it's just good for her to get this, line of football education to play for a senior team in America, and that one will help her when she come back to France. I think she's going on loan, so she will still need to come back to France. Too. So that means that she's going to become more better player. Like you said, the Olympics are around the corner. She wants to be in that team. Also this thing's also around the corner too. The what's it called? The WAFCON in November. It's also around the corner too. I know that she will want to be part of it.
And I was going to end it there, but I just remembered now that there's also two more players that it would be wrong for us not to talk about them. One of the players is Omarisola Babajide. She has been doing pretty
Mm-hmm.
well in recent weeks for her club. And this weekend, I don't know if you saw the goal. We posted it on our Twitter page. She scored a fine goal for DDG Tenerife. Unfortunately, they lost 2-1 against Real Madrid, but her goal was a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful one in that game. And of course, she's another player that's recently just joined the Super Falcons. She's yet to score her first goal for Nigeria, but she's on the come up in her career, and I'm really hoping that things progress well for her. What do you think of Risuna Babajide quickly?
No, 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 also a very good player. A ball playing striker that can play that side of the. He can play on the left or on the right. Also play through the center. So and I like her skill. So I just think that. is good. She has not scored any goal. She didn't score any goal for Falcons yet, but the goal will come. So she's been doing well in her performance. I saw her play against Ethiopia in Addis Ababa. She did well in that game. The same thing the return leg too. She played a couple of minutes. She did well too. The goals will come. I can't doubt her ability. I saw her play in Liverpool and I knew that, she's very, very good. So she's a good addition to this team. And I'm pretty sure that I think, this will be the first time that she will play under coach Randy Wardrobe. So, and let's see what come out of it. But for me, fantastic player.
And the final Super Falcons player that I think it would be wrong not to talk about her is Jennifer Onye Echegini. This girl just joined Juventus in the Italian Serie A Femminile after her college career in the USA, and she has just lit it up, like she was as if when petrol is on the floor and you just light matches before the matches even touch the petrol, fire don't buzz everywhere. That's the way she has caught fire for Juventus. Goal after goal, match winner after match winner. She has just been incredible. The coach for the first few games put her on the bench. On her debut, she came off the bench, she scored goal. Next game again, they put her on the bench, came off the bench, scored goal. They said, "Oh yeah, start." She started the game, she scored 2 goals. She has just been fantastic for Juve so far. No surprise for me. Her quality has always been there. I've done a previous interview with her, a fantastic interview when she was still in college, and she's just a young, talented player that just wants to play football and just wants to enjoy herself. She said that she's always liking herself to like a Ronaldinho type of player. She's good on her or with the ball on her feet. She just wants to enjoy herself, and of course, she can score goals. She can play on the left. She can play on the right. She can play through the middle. She can play number 9. Her favorite position is to play number 10, but no matter where you put her, she can have some kind of effect. And I think her impact in Juve so far, I've been going on their Instagram page and I'll be translating the comments to English. And a lot of the people are already are already in love with her. They are saying that the coach will never bench her again. She must start every game. So I have to give kudos to her. To have that kind of impact after moving to a new country, starting your professional career after college is not easy. And the way she has taken off, it just shows the amazing talents that she is. What do you think about Chigini starts the life in Juventus?
And like you said, the confidence level. She took Italy by storm now, and I'm really actually what I know. I wasn't surprised because don't forget that the naysayers, the people believe that she did do well in the World Cup. But I think what really helped her was that they took her to that World Cup. The confidence level is there, so I think she's not scared. So I'm pretty sure that if Tony Nico Payne too went to that World Cup and she actually played at that World Cup too, I think taking that confidence to PSG will have really helped her better than actually what. So I think that I'm happy that she thinks that she belongs among the big girls. So I'm happy that she's doing well. And before you know it, a move can be she can be moving to even a bigger league before you know it. Because, like you said, I've been looking at some Twitter comments too about what she's been doing, and kudos to you too. You have been posting those performances when she score. So I might not see that game. I'll go and check. I'll type her name, the feedback and everything from those games, and I will see that people are really actually in love with her performance. So fantastic girl, and I hope that these guys, these young girls can actually take us over the line in the Olympic qualifier
Mm.
when they are called
Amazing.
upon.
Amazing. Shout out to
Yes.
Jennifer Onye Echegini. Okay, now let us transition to the male side of things, the men. Of course, AFCON is over. Nigeria finished second. The boys are back at their clubs, ready to get it going and earn their paychecks, for their clubs. I'll start us on a relatively sad or somber note. Talking about Super Eagles left back, Zaidu Sanusi. Just like everybody else, after the AFCON, he was celebrating. He got back to his club, FC Porto. And I remember that day, I was excited to see him on the team sheets for their game on Saturday, February 17th against Estrela Amadora. And all of a sudden, I didn't watch the game, but I went back to see it. 32 minutes into the game, Zedu pulls up injured. And eventually, the FC Porto released a statement letting us know that he has suffered a serious injury. He has suffered a season ending injury. And unfortunately, he suffered an ACL injury. We know how serious ACLs are. Is an injury that you don't wish on any footballer. And now Zaidu is going to be out for a period of 6 to 9 months. Trying to recover. So of course, it means that he's out of our upcoming World Cup qualifiers. He's out of our friendly matches. You know, very unfortunate one. Very tough. Um, of course, he worked really hard at the Afcon. He played almost every game except the one that he was injured for. Um, so I don't know. Do you think he needed a rest? Do you think the workload was too much, or is it just one of those things that can happen in football? What do you think about Sanusi's injury?
So for me, I think that I know that the coach really missed him during that AFCON. So, but a rest will not be bad at all. For a player that played almost, I think he only missed the game against South Africa and Guinea-Bissau.
Yeah.
So he played nearly every game. So I think that the coach should have looked for a way to rest him,
Mm,
and make him actually recover from that. Don't forget he was injured too during AFCON. So he had to like recover for the final. According to report, he wasn't even 100% fit for that final. So I think the coach was just want to rush him, and I'm pretty sure that now they'll be regretting it. But what I can say is to wish him the best of luck. A lot of people thought that he got the injury from AFCON. No, it was his club game, against Estera also that he actually what got that injury from. So, I'm really, really sad that he's not going to be part of the AFCON or the World Cup qualifiers in June. He will also be part of the friendly match in March. So, it's going to be a very, very big loss for Nigeria, I can tell you. So I just hope that we can. I wish him the best of luck to recover quickly for next season. That's it now. It's just next season
and
because this one is like really like a three about
mm.
yes.
And the interesting thing, I mean, I don't know if interesting is the right word, but the way he actually got injured in that game was from him chasing back an attacker trying to help his team, and unfortunately, after getting, I think he got the block, and after getting the block, he just stumbled and landed awkwardly on his knee, and that's the way he got injured. So it was one of those injuries that, frankly, can happen at any point. Just unfortunate that it happened to
Mm-hmm.
him immediately he had come back from the AFCON. And another thing is that Jose Pesero, that was reluctant to use his other left back at the AFCON, now he has to use a different left back coming into
Mm-hmm.
these next games. I don't know if he's going to use Jamilu Collins, or maybe he'll move Ola and not to the left. We have to wait and see. But we're wishing Zaidu Sanusi a speedy recovery. I hope he comes back better, comes back stronger, and is able to pick up where he left off. Okay, let us move on. The next player that I'll touch on is Henry Onyekuru. And I'll be honest, he's not somebody that I'll ordinarily have covered because he's been out of the limelight. He's playing in Saudi Arabia, but he did well this weekend. He scored 2 goals for his club Al Fayha in their victory. Tony Wakeme also did well, 1 goal and 2 assists in that game. They won 3-0. And I found something interesting that I saw a few comments on Instagram, on Twitter, or on X. People were saying, why is Onyekuru not part of the Super Eagles squad? And I'm just like, huh? Nigerians, it's funny how these things happen. People just hear, this person does well. I'm like, why is he not in Super Eagles? But I was thinking of it, I'm like, he's such a long way away from Super Eagles. I think even he knows that he's such a long way away from Super Eagles at this point. And it's not that he doesn't have ability. He's been part of the team. He's a good player. But I think for me now, his biggest flaw is his inconsistency. The way he just had a fantastic game, I would not be surprised if he has a rubbish match in the next one. Because even after moving to Saudi, he has been very inconsistent like that. Has a good game, has 2 bad games. Has another good game, has a bad game. Has 2 good games, has 2 bad games. So he's been so up and down. But he did play well for Al Fayed this past weekend. 2 goals for them. There were 2 well-taken goals as well. I'll give him credit for that. So I just wanted to highlight him and give him his props. Do you have anything to say about Onyekuru?
I think Onyekuru, for those that are calling for his invitation to the national team, I think it's too early to call him to the national team. I just think that he's a player that I think would have, performed so well for Nigeria I remember his days in Belgium with Upin in Belgium. There was a time that he took the ball from the midfield and he dribbled everybody before he scored. But unfortunately, things didn't actually work out for him. Well, in Anderlecht, he moved to Everton. Things just didn't work out well for him. For me, I just think that he's a player that should be enjoying himself now in Saudi Arabia. I think Super Eagles is a bit far off now. He's been part of the team before. He was part of the AFCON team that went to 2021 in Cameroon. He was there, but you cannot say he did anything in the AFCON. So at that time, sef, it was even, I think it was in Galatasaray then. I think it was even scoring more goals then compared to now. So for me, it's just to enjoy himself. I'm happy for him that he's doing well in Saudi Arabia. At least it's good for him to do well for himself.
Mm. And yeah, Galatasaray is where Onyekuru has always enjoyed his best days. That's where he has been impressive. Um, okay, let's move over to the English Premier League. We have a couple Nigerian players in the English Premier League. Frank Onyeka came on as a sub for Brentford, where as they fell to a defeat against Liverpool. We saw Calvin Bassey and Alex Iwobi return to action for their club Fulham. They unfortunately also fell to a defeat 2-1 against Aston Villa. But I think the standout Nigerian player from this past weekend in the English Premier League was Taiwo Awoniyi. Unfortunately, he missed out on the AFCON due to an injury, and he's come back from the injury, and he's been impressive for Nottingham Forest. He scored a well taken goal, I must say, in their 2-0 victory over West Ham. Taiwo is this player that right now has proven to us that he will score goals no matter what goes on, no matter the situation, even though he's not playing for one of the top clubs. In fact, he's playing for one of the clubs that's battling relegation, but he has proven that he will continue to score goals. This was his sixth goal of the season in 11 starts, so a fairly good, return for him. Um, and of course, we saw the statistic that Sky Sports put out to show the conversion rates of different strikers in the Premier League since last season. And of all players that have scored 12 or more goals since the start of last season, Taiwo Awoniyi has the highest conversion rate, ahead of the likes of Erling Haaland, Harry Kane. So what do you think about Taiwo's goal this past weekend and the impressive form that he has shown for Nottingham Forest?
So I also listened to the Monday Night Football on Sky Sports when what's it called? They were discussing. It was is it Mash, the former coach of Leeds? He
Yes,
was there.
Imashia, the
He was
former
trying to
Leeds
yeah,
coach.
yes, Mash. Yeah, he was discussing. So it was a complete what? A complete number nine goal. That is striker's dream goal. The way he used his body and the way he actually what converted that opportunity. So I'm actually what happy. I think it's one of the most underrated player. Not even in England, they don't even in Nigeria. You don't know the strength of Taiwo Awoniyi. Fantastic player. You can see clearly that what's it called? He leads that one with 28.6% ahead of Alad with what? With 26.1%. Though I also know that Alad, come on, he needs some rest. I saw him play against Chelsea. The guy also, the guy needs some rest. He needs some rest. So for me, I'm happy about it. I think that we missed him in last AFCON.
Mm.
So when he got that injury and he wasn't going to be available, we're going to miss this person. But I'm happy that he's good. He's fine now. He will be back for the friendly game in March and also the World Cup qualifier in June. So that makes things very good for us. So I'm happy that he's been doing well. I will not be surprised that at the end of the season he goes to he transfers to a Champions League club.
Hmm. That's a big one. If that happens, that would be a big one for Taiwo Awoniyi. And I will just say the interesting thing is that even though, of course, Haaland has scored a lot more goals than him, Haaland misses a lot of chances as well. That's just the reality of it. Haaland misses a lot of chances, and for someone like Taiwo that is playing in a team like Nottingham Forest, he doesn't get that many chances, and he does a good job of keeping the
Mm-hmm.
chances that he gets. So you have to give him credit for that clinical nature, that ability to get two chances and at least make sure that one of them turns into a goal. I give him kudos for that. Okay, let's move on quickly to another Nigerian player. This time we are going to the Italian Serie A. And I want to talk about very quickly Samuel Chukwueze. Again, another player that participated for Nigeria at the AFCON returned to his club AC Milan, and they had a game against Monza in Italian Serie A. Chukwueze, I remember seeing his name on the starting 11 list, and I'm like, okay, okay, Samo, come on. Even though you went for AFCON, the coach is giving you a chance once you come back from the start to come and show them that, oh, this is what you guys missed. And unfortunately, he was hooked off at halftime. You know, I mean, of course, at that time, AC Milan were losing the game 2-0, but it's just unfortunate that they hooked him off. They took him off to bring on Pulisic. Um, what do you think about Chukwueze's inability to catch fire for AC Milan? What do you think about that?
I think he just needs a rethink. I think it needs like a retreat. For me, I'm really surprised that he finds it hard to actually to actually perform well for AC Milan, because if you play for a team that normally create opportunities, a team that they don't have issue with, like, you have to defend and counter and everything. They're very stable defensively. They create opportunities for you. I think that you should be able to take it. And the reason why he started was because Rafael Oliver Giroud, they played on Thursday in the Europa playoff. So they had to rest them and allow Noah Okafor, and so on, and Samuel Chukwueze to play that game, so that those guys can actually watch return, because they think that it should have been an easy game for them. Samuel Chukwueze did not actually play well. And this thing too is rubbing off on Nigeria, because even during AFCON, we did not see Samuel Chukwueze. Truth must be said about that. We didn't see Samuel Chukwueze. So I just think that it's a guy that just needs to, like, he can't, I think he should not, he should just needs, like, he needs to rethink, he needs to look at different strategies and see, how he can actually get better. And kudos to Pioli. I like him that he still trusts him to do the job. He was talking to him, he trusts him to actually to do the job. But, sometimes too, if you see a manager trusting you like this, and you cannot pay him back with your good performance on the pitch, then what do you expect him to do? It's gonna be so difficult. So what I can say basically is that I wish Chukwueze the best of luck. I hope that he can actually get his form back and actually do well for AC Milan, because if Samuel Chukwueze did not perform well before the end of the season, the transfer window is going to be very interesting.
Hmm. Okay. I wouldn't add anything there. And then to round off, Victor Osimhen returned to Napoli, didn't play for Napoli in the weekend, but Osimhen has a
Mm-hmm.
new coach. Napoli have sacked their manager, Walter Mazzari, and they've brought in a new
Mm-hmm.
manager, Francesco Calzona, who is also still at the same time
Mm-hmm.
the manager of Slovakia. He qualified Slovakia for the
Mm-hmm.
Euros coming up in the summer of 2024. Now Osimhen has played under Gattuso, has played under
Mm-hmm.
Spalletti, has played under
Mm-hmm.
the Mazzari that just left, and is having his fourth coach
Mm-hmm.
for Napoli. Do you think
Mm-hmm.
this is? I mean, we already know that Osimhen is leaving Napoli in the summer, but how do you think this is
Mm-hmm.
going to be for him between now and the end of the season? Do you think he's going to now have to start learning a new system, or is he just going to be like, "Well, I come out, Joe, maybe I just do it and I won't do score how many goals I can score and leave"? What do you think
Mm-hmm.
about the whole situation at Napoli for Osimhen?
I think I'm just going to start by trying to, like, remind you of our first episode or so, like before the end of the season, before the start. I told you how Napoli will struggle this season, and they did not disappoint me. He said this is one of the worst. This is the worst title defense in Italian Serie A. Worst title defense. They were just all over the place. And for him to play under a new manager, the fourth manager again, I think that he also played. Did you mention Luis Garcia? Yeah. So and Garcia started this season. Masari. So this is going to be third coach this season.
This season.
So this one itself, he did not even have full season to work on. I don't think he's going to come and implement new system. I think he's going to like to stay with the status quo, and see maybe he can improve the team. Maybe after Euros, they will give him the job permanently.
Mm,
But the good thing is that he's coming with Napoli legend Amsic as his assistant.
mm,
So, and that guy knows the team very well. So I think that I won't be surprised again if they sack him before the
mm.
and go and bring another and go and bring another person. The man is not scared to remove to show the hammer. I'm talking about the owner of Napoli. So for me, I think Victor just need to adjust himself to try and be fit 100%. Deliver and leave on a good note. That's what I just think Victor needs to actually do.
No, yeah. And like you said, terrible title defense. I remember I said it on this podcast, I believe. After the season ended and the new season was starting, I said I don't think Napoli can repeat. I knew it was going to be difficult for them, but I did not think that they are going to struggle this much. To the point that now, when Napoli is going to play match, you're even better off betting that they will lose than betting that they will win the match. That's how bad it is. They've just not
Yes.
been good at all
Yes.
this season. This game that they played against Genoa this past weekend, I knew they were not going to win the match. And it's
Mm.
unfortunate that that's the state of Napoli. They have a big Champions League match coming up versus Barcelona. Barcelona too are nonsense, so I don't know who's going to win that one. But Osimhen is probably going to play in that game, and at least if he can score a goal or two against Barcelona, just try to finish the season with another 10, 15 goals and just live on a high and just know that he has
Hmm.
done all he can do for the club and then, possibly move to the English Premier League in the summer. But yes, Victor Osimhen, another coach for him at Napoli. Let us see how that goes. So, like, any final word, final comments that you want to make, anything to add before we round off?
No, I just want to just want to wish Super Eagles player the best of luck. I just want them very good AFCON. Just stay fit because I know that this transfer window is going very interesting. I just hope that they can actually stay fit and be healthy towards the summer. That's my opinion too. I also welcome Dennis back to England, so I hope that this time around it's gonna be very good for the London boy.
Mm. Well said. And thank you very much to our audience for watching, for listening, wherever you are joining us, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We appreciate your audience as always. It's been a pleasure. My name is AyoT and my co-host is.
Smith Layi, thanks for
Thank you
joining.
very much, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.